I think we have come to the end of the salient features of all these codes. Now, just to consolidate, I think we did not actually, as I said in the beginning, did not go into some of the drawbacks. So maybe I can say, if you go through section 45, which is there in the part 1 of the code on occupational safety, it very clearly says the contractor, it includes only the manpower supply contract. It does not talk about the job contractors. It is not very clear whether this is intentional or something is missed out. Similarly, if you go through section 32, right, clear now, I think we are very clear under Factories Act. If a person has completed 240 days of period of 12 months, then the person will be eligible for leave at the rate of 1 day for every 20 days of work performed in the previous year, right, to be availed in the subsequent 12 months. That is the idea. That 240 days is now brought down to 180 days. But in one place it is mentioned as 180, in another place it is mentioned as 90 days. I think some anomaly is there under section 32 itself. I think that needs to be removed. Similarly, the need for considering the direct employees as interstate migrant. Currently, I think only the contract workers, when they are hired from other states, they are treated as interstate migrant workmen. I don't know what exactly is the idea of the lawmakers to include direct employees. Or because I think most of the cases, definitely, I think from different states, we will be recruiting the persons, right? But not very sure why they are also treated as interstate migrant workmen, the regular employees. Similarly, will the registration of establishment. So if you go through the definition of the term establishment under the Occupational Safety Code, if you go through the first portion, which clearly says any place where any industry, trade, commerce, occupation is carried on, that will be considered as an establishment. So that will equally be applicable to commercial establishments also. But the Shops and Establishments Act is a state-specific legislations. That is not one of the 13 legislations which are getting subsumed into the code on occupational safety. But doubt may arise whether this definition of establishment will also include commercial establishments or shops or other eating houses or restaurants, right? So that needs some sort of clarity. Again, the need for having two terms. Now, I think almost all the 4 codes have defined the terms employee as well as worker, right? Of course, the definition is common in all the 4 codes. But again, not very sure why we need 2 classifications. Slightly, I think we move on to slide number 37. If you go through in the intersection portion, the skilled workers, the unskilled workers, the manual workers, the operational workers, the technical and clerical persons, they are all included in the definitions of both worker as well as employee, right? But if you go through the workers portion alone, supervisors drawing up to 15,000, I think we discussed, they are treated as worker only. They are not supervisors, so they will not fall under the definition of employee. Then working journalists, specifically, they are maybe as defined under correctly the Working Journalists Act. Now they are falling under the scope of worker. Similarly, sales promotion employees, they are treated as workers. On the left side, if you go through semi-skilled, the semi-skilled workers are very clearly missed out in the definition of the term worker. I'm not again very sure whether this is intentional or something is missed out, right? So no other go. That's the reason I have included in the employee portion, because in the employee definition, if you go through, it includes semi-skilled workers also. So necessarily we have to treat them as employees. Similarly, supervisors drawing more than 15,000, persons who are doing managerial job and administrative jobs, they are all employees. That is fine. But only with respect to semi-skilled, I think some clarity is required.